Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Nick from ForexForNoobs.com with the daily analysis. Today is Tuesday the 17th of September 2019 and time is 6 o'clock here in the UK. You're looking at a AUDUSD daily chart. We're starting a little bit late. Well, not late. We're starting on time, but this is later than our normal time, is what I'm trying to say. Normally we start these webinars at 10 a.m., but I have just got back from holiday today. Got back late in the afternoon, so we're starting this one in the evening. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the webinar, guys. I'm just going to bring up the news real quick. I want to see what's going on with the news. Whoa, tomorrow is a busy news day. Wow. So kicking off at 9:30 a.m. in the morning, we have the CPI, followed by the CAD CPI, crude oil inventories, FOMC economic projections, FOMC rates. Basically a whole lot of stuff. A whole lot of stuff is going on tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a busy news day, which is probably going to lead to a lot of market movement, which is good. Now, for news reports that I'm worried about, for ones that are going to keep me out of trades, really, it's only going to be these ones here. FOMC economic projections, FOMC statement, and the federal funds rate. This one's likely to cause some movement in the market, so do watch out for those. Followed by the press conference. Of course, the press conference that follows the rate statement can also have an impact. From around about 6:30 to 8 p.m., maybe even 8:30 p.m., 6:30 to 8:30, I'd be pretty careful about entering trades. And if I'm in any trades, I'd be careful about how I manage them. So that could mean tightening stop losses, etc. The following day, we have some crazy news too. All of this week's webinars are going to be in the evening. So tomorrow's is going to be at 6 p.m. and the following is going to be at 6 p.m. or something like that. Maybe a bit earlier in the afternoon. So we'll cover, what I'm trying to say is we'll cover Thursday in tomorrow's webinar, tomorrow evening's webinar. Right, so that's the news out of the way, guys. Keep an eye out for that federal funds rate and the press conference that follows. So what is going on with setups? Last week I shared a potential long on gold. This one triggered because of news. It pulled back and I got out of this trade as it was pulling back. I just wasn't really happy with with the trigger for this trade. Because I got triggered in by news, I wasn't happy with the trigger, so I closed out with an almost insignificant profit. It's still turning around now and it's starting to go up. So if you're still in this, you may as well hold on to it. I don't see any reason to get out if you're still in it. Or if you've entered since last week, then hold on to it. It looks like it's going to move up. I think there's a good chance that this is going to continue up. The only reason I exited is because of how it formed, how it triggered me into the trade. AUDUSD, I still have this marked, but I'm going to unmark this because I'm not going to trade anything here. It's been moving sideways on this resistance area. I don't see any potential setup here. New Zealand USD, now this one looks interesting. Last week I shared a potential short here from this resistance area. The short did kind of happen. I'm not sure if anyone entered. It wasn't a great setup. But now price is stalling out on top of this support area here. And this looks pretty decent. I like this as a potential setup. So I'm going to keep a close eye on this one for a potential long from the support area. What I want to do is wait for this current daily candle to close, and then I'll look at entering after the daily candle closes. So we're just going to wait for today's daily candle to close, which is in just about 4 hours. So once it closes, I'll be looking for a setup, a long entry there. Let's look for some other potential setups. We had a big gap over the weekend, which is going to make it a bit difficult for a lot of these setups, unfortunately. When you get a big gap, it's hard to spot or to find good setups. No, nothing there either. New Zealand CAD is stalling on support, but I don't really like this setup, to be honest. And there isn't that much on the larger time frames to kick off the week. It's a bit of a slow start, really. The only other one I see as a potential right now that I'm actually interested in trading is AUDJPY. It's stalling out on resistance, so there's a potential short here. It might be a tricky trade, but there's definitely potential for a short here in line with this overall bearish trend. Price was stalling out there last week, which I'm pretty sure I talked about that last week. This week it gapped down significantly. It's pushed back up since the gap, and now it's stalling out again. So there's definitely potential for a short here at this resistance area. And with New Zealand USD, there's potential for a long here at this support area after today's daily candle closes, which is in just under 4 hours. Just going to have a quick look at some of the pairs again, just in case there's something I missed. But I don't think there is, guys. I think it's just a bit of a quiet... Well, not so much a quiet start to the week. I misspoke there. It's a bit of an exciting start to the week with that huge gap. But that gap has made it hard to find any decent setups. So, yeah, we just have 2 to kick off the week. But given the amount of news we're going to get tomorrow, I think we're going to see a whole lot of market movement tomorrow, which generally leads to a whole lot of setups. So I'm hopeful for tomorrow, but right now I don't really see much going on other than these 2. Potential long on New Zealand USD, potential short on AUDJPY. Let's keep a close eye on those. If you're still in on gold, or if you've entered since Monday, I would hold on to that position because it looks like it's going to start pushing up from here. So that is it for the analysis, guys. Are there any questions? Right, well, it doesn't look like there's any questions, so I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you guys for attending. If there are any questions, feel free to send me an email or post it to the forum. Andre, if you want me to take a look at something, you need to tell me the exact name of the pair, and I'll see if I can bring it up. So the ticker symbol, the symbol, is what I'm after. Hmm. I don't know if I'm looking at the correct thing, but I don't really see much here. Maybe this is it. When I say the ticker symbol, I mean this thing that appears here. So is it EU50 EUR? Rashad, that's the 200 moving average. It's something that's discussed in the course. There's a whole video dedicated to it. So if you check out that video in the course, I break down what it is and I explain kind of how I use it. I assume you're talking about EU50 EUR. Because it's the only thing I've found that makes sense. Not sure about these support resistance areas. I'm going to use them for now as a rough guide and then adjust them later. It does. Yeah, it does look like price is at resistance, and it is bouncing away from resistance. But if you wanted to enter, you should have been in this one already. I don't really see a way to enter this one right now. You should have been in quite some time ago. Entering now is just, it's way, way, way too late. Should have been up at 35336-ish. Entering now will give you a horrible risk to reward ratio. Unless you have a target at the second support area, but that's a pretty ambitious target. There is definitely some support here, although it isn't a strong support area. But still, I don't really think it's I don't really think it's a smart one to enter at this point. I think you should have been in it already. But it does look like a very interesting pair. And it is something I want to keep a track of in future. So I'm going to add it to this list. Oh, so you're in already. Okay, cool. Well, if you entered on Friday, then I imagine you got in somewhere up here. Well, yeah, if you got in on Friday, then you're doing good on this one. Just hold on to it. It looks like a good setup. It's moving in your direction. Just keep a hold of it. Are there any other questions, guys? And Andre, if you have a more specific question about that setup, when you get home and you can more freely type, post it to the forum and I'll answer. But other than that, guys, it seems like there's no more questions. So I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you guys for attending. I'll check out the forum for any follow-up questions. And I'll see you guys for tomorrow's webinar.